a fact that if you watch this program, the price of Bitcoin goes up.
I say hats off to the fact that we have someone named Bo Hines at this level. And the reality is he is a serious player. There was no Biden administration official who was going to meet with anyone vaguely related to crypto. They were viewed essentially as akin to drug lords. Drug lords may have had more respect, frankly.
Welcome to the Crypto Swamp Creatures, the show you never knew you needed and still don't want anyways. I'm Christopher Alexander, your blockchain and advocacy communications expert.
And I'm Justin Wallin, your guide through the often murky world of politics and polling.
Every week, we dive into the intersection of crypto, policy, and politics without taking sides. We're here to give you the straight, data-driven analysis that influences the decisions of those who want to win or want to be elected.
Think of it as a late 80s newscast, but with a twist. We bring you the serious stuff, but with a dash of sardonic wit and just a hint of irreverence.
So whether you're a crypto enthusiast, a policy wonk, or just someone who appreciates a data-driven approach, this is your place.
We bring you both sides, weigh the impact on crypto, and then we share what we use for show prep every week on our Medium.
So remember, no one is as smart as someone who agrees with you, and now get ready to enter the no swamp zone.
Welcome to the Crypto Swamp Creatures. You know, before we get started, Justin, there's lies, damn lies, and statistics, and there is an absolute correlation. I know you and I were talking about market correlation between our thinking about or recording and the price of Bitcoin going up. And I think we can lay out.
Follow. Insiders know.
I mean, I think at this point it is a fact that if you watch this program, the price of Bitcoin goes up. And I think we can mathematically prove that, which should tell people about the kind of models that tell you you're going to make money.
Yes. These secret sauces, they're always so accurate over time.
Yes. Well, everyone wants to kill the Fox News pollster now. Speaking of where your numbers go. So in the past, we've joked a little. We desperately hoped he'd pay attention to us, like an aging movie star. We've talked about Bo Hines, and we've sort of been unsure. Is he like a serious player? Was he a pick that was a favor? There's not a lot known about him. So little. They still keep saying that he played football, like was a wide receiver in college somewhere. That still appears, even in the Fortune piece that just came out. But we just saw something really interesting about the talented Mr. Hines, which is that guy is moving. And there's a really fascinating Fortune piece about him. I'm impressed. And I think it's pretty clear he decided to be quiet, get things done, and not worry about all the grandstanding. But Justin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, let me just say, first and foremost, I am thrilled to see someone young who has a nickname in America these days, because that has gone by the wayside. You very seldom see Bo's. You very seldom see nicknames. We all go by our long name. And I think that's wonderful, especially because he was an athlete, which I think that nicknames have to go with you. I'm a little disappointed that it's Bo. That's just a simple nickname. I think it's short for Beaufort or something like that. Forgive me, Bo Hines, if I've got that wrong. I like the ones that are somewhat derogatory, that reflect the real realities of growing up in American high schools. But I say hats off to the fact that we have someone named Bo Hines at this level. And the reality is he is a serious player. He is approaching it seriously. He's meeting not just, first off, clearly he has to meet the big players, the people who are consequential in either the organizations they represent or themselves. But he's also meeting with a broad scope, or at least he's saying he's meeting with a broad scope of people from small to large. I think that reflects an understanding of the landscape of any meaningful industry. And what does he have, like 50 meetings in 30 days? That is actually quite a lot when you've got a lot of other things to do to hit the ground.
It is. In fact, I'm looking at it now. In the months since his appointment, Hines has become a mini celebrity in the crypto world, with CEOs and billionaire investors vying for appointments on his calendar and lobbyists jostling for FaceTime. In the first 30 days after becoming executive director of the President's Council of Advisors on Digital Assets, which, by the way, is still going on, he said it's not this whole myth that we're just having conferences. The council exists. Says Hines had met with more than 50 crypto lobbyists, investors, company founders, agency officials, bankers. And that was from his calendar. Forbes FOIA'd his calendar. I guess they were kind of wondering what he was doing too, which is sort of funny. But Chris Dixon and Mark Andreessen of Andreessen Horowitz, Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple, Bank of New York digital asset chief. Like he's talking to people, and we're going to in another segment talk about two competing bills. We think they're competing in the House and Senate regarding stable coins, which I suspect reflect some of his discussions here. But he is doing stuff.
He is, and I think what's great about this is you get a lot of attention towards towards the things that are entertaining, right? If you read about the administration's crypto efforts, invariably it's going to be about the Trump coin, right? About the meme coin, because that's the shiny metal object. The reality is the administration.
No pun intended.
Right. The reality is the administration is quite serious, or at least all the indications are they are quite serious in establishing a framework wherein crypto actually works for the United States, and not just works, but the United States can become the global leader that it is the capacity to do so. The difference between today and 6 months ago, is astonishing. There was no Biden administration official who was going to meet with anyone vaguely related to crypto. They were viewed essentially as akin to drug lords. Drug lords may have had more respect, frankly. This is
certainly from our esteemed Native American senator from Oklahoma. I believe she said all of it was in fact.
That's right. So that those kind of surface level cursory evaluations really reflected poorly on the past administration. And we're seeing a completely different approach here. And again, I just want to underline this because this administration had every potential to have the same degree of cursory surface level approach to crypto and just say it is all good, full steam ahead, and basically have this kind of meme regulatory approach to crypto. That is exactly not what they're doing. I'm terrifically encouraged, and I think it's an amazing aspect of this particular administration.
Absolutely. I am interested to see what happens next. I think it's also really interesting that stable coins are appearing on the Hill. That can't be a coincidence. And of course, we're going to talk about these stablecoin acts. But it seems to be where they've started in terms of providing regulatory clarity. And, we joked, we sometimes hoped that Bo Hines was one among our dozens of loyal listeners and followers. Maybe he is. I believe in the article, he said he would meet with anyone. I think you pointed that out, and I said he still hasn't met with us.
You need to meet with a couple of knuckleheads.
Yeah, well, there's only one thing standing between us and that meeting, and that's the lobbyist that we probably have to pay. I'd say $15,000, and then we'll get the meeting. So maybe we do like a Bo Hines GoFundMe.
There we go.
And pay for us to have a meeting with Bo Hines.
That's right.
So we'll call. I was almost going to name a firm. I don't want to get them. I mean, it's a great firm who I was going to name, but I was almost going to name a firm and say we'll call X and get the meeting. But never mind that. I don't want to cause any problems for anyone. We're not actually important, but we might be able to get someone in trouble.
It's the most dangerous kind.
Exactly right. Not enough to matter, but enough
disturbing.
To ruin something. All right. Well, looking forward to a couple more segments here, and we're going to talk about what we think the mysterious Bo Hines. I did want to add one last thing. It's refreshing. This guy, he's run for Congress twice and lost. I think he's independently wealthy. I don't know how he's running at that age otherwise. But either way, it's an accomplishment to be able to organize a team like that. So, he's run for Congress, which means, he's a politician. and he has stayed out of the limelight. He is the most un-Trumpian appointee I think I've run across yet. Even someone like our Secretary Treasury and so on and so forth. They're out there. They're out there talking. He is just quietly doing yeoman's work, and so it's going to be interesting to see what he achieves.
Yeah, this is how government accomplishes things, on the backs of people who do things along those lines, who simply get down and grind through. Because it is a grind. Creating government policy is one of the most difficult things known to man.
Yeah, it's just second only to working in the Pentagon. And that's only because there's so many people who have authority to abuse you that doesn't exist in Congress. But that's a whole nother show.
And that's all for this week on the Crypto Swamp Creatures.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the intersection of crypto, politics, and policy.
Remember, the data doesn't lie, and neither do we. Oh, not about anything important anyways.
Until next time, stay informed, stay skeptical, stay out of the swamp.